Welcome back to another episode of the Miami Heat Chronicles. My name is Amir. Before we get started on today's episode, just want to thank everybody for supporting my channel. Can you guys go to Martel's channel as well, the Miami Heat Zone, and subscribe to his channel? It would mean a lot to both of us. So thank you again. So, Martel, wanted to talk to you about the Tyus Jones signing. We all know that Tyus Jones yesterday signed with the Phoenix Suns on a 1 year, $3.3 million deal. And a lot of Heat Nation on Twitter and on YouTube were upset, saying that the Miami Heat missed out on another opportunity to add a good player to this Miami Heat team. We don't have a single actual point guard on our roster. And we specifically, though, need a backup point guard because Terry Rozier is our de facto starting point guard. And so Heat fans are pissed. They're saying Pat is, again, sleeping at the wheel and that this front office is just fumbling the bag again. So, what are your thoughts on one, him signing with the Suns for only 3.3 million? And what do you say to the Miami Heat fans out there that, are upset that the Miami Heat made a mistake essentially by signing an Alec Burks early on and a few other players, that we brought back.
But it kind of goes both ways because let's say that we waited and then Lonnie Walker's gone or this person's gone or that person's gone. People will say, well, why did we wait? And then they're going to say, well, then why did we sign so early? So you really can't please Miami Heat fans. My thing is, listen, Terry and all of them told you, same thing with Mr. Ellisberg. They already said it. We're running it back. It is what it is. So Miami Heat fans, we got to focus on that. I'm telling you right now, the main thing we need to focus on maximizing Terry, Jimmy, Tyler, Bam. If we cannot fix that, we have a problem. I get it. People want to see, new additions on the team and they want to see the main things addressed. But the whole Thomas Bryant thing, listen, he re-signed for less money. He did the Miami Heat a favor. And now I know a lot of people are saying that's not true. Some people are saying it is true. But think about it. He opted out, and you're telling me that he would have first went out to the market and see what's out there. I'm sure he did that before he opted out. And I'm sure that the Miami Heat said, listen, could you opt out for us and then save us more money on the back end? And if that's true that he did that, it is what it is. He has. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, then why did we give him the player option? Who knows? I wish I could tell you. There's a lot of question marks going on right now with this Miami Heat front office and some of the things that they've done. Have they made mistakes? Yes. But have they also done good things? Yes. I just think that most of it was a lot of unlucky stuff and injuries. But with the whole Tyus Jones thing, he also said that he picked a team that was best for him. So who knows if we were even on his radar at all.
And also, he wanted to be a starting point guard, right? So he was on Minnesota for his first 4 years. Then he was with the Grizzlies for 4 years. And he had a breakout year, essentially, one of the years that Ja Morant was injured, 2 seasons ago. And he came in as their starting point guard, played 80 games that season, had 10 points, 5 assists, couple rebounds. His assist to turnover ratio has always been spectacular. And then he got his opportunity to finally start, but on a horrible team, right? He was in our division. He was on the Wizards, and his numbers did improve. He upped his points to 12 points per game, and his assists were 7.3 when he was getting finally like starting minutes, 29 minutes per game. Seven, like his assist to turnover ratio, insane, 7.3 assists to only one turnover. So one of the best floor generals, like true point guards in the NBA. So I don't understand when people are getting upset. It's because initially on we never would have expected. I never would have expected that he would have to sign for basically the minimum. I thought he was going to at least make $8 million to $12 million, right? Like as a starting point guard, those options were limited, right? So there's not many teams that are looking for a starting point guard, including the Miami Heat. So to your point, you said the Suns were the best situation for him personally because he's going to start on that team. They don't have a floor general. They don't have a guy that can get Kevin Love and Beal and Booker in their spots, right? I mean, of course, they're going to ball handle a lot too, perhaps. So it might not technically be the best fit, but it's an opportunity for him to be on a better team. He was on the worst team basically in the NBA with the Wizards. At least the Suns are going to be a playoff team in the West, and he has really good players around him. And so, did he really want to come to the Miami Heat and back up Terry and Tyler, like coming off our bench? Probably not. But like if so, it would have had to have been for $8 to $10 million. So we probably wouldn't have had enough money anyway to offer him.
But then also too, he also said that he looked at multiple sign-in trades. How do we not know that maybe Duncan Robinson or somebody else was not in a signing trade? These are some of the things that we just don't know because we're not in the NBA circles. But if it's not something that's going to work for the Miami Heat and Tyus Jones and for the team that's going to sign and trade him, how are the Miami Heat even going to get in that conversation?
Well, also remember this: we're a first apron team. We're 2 million away from the second apron or whatever that number is. We can't even do a sign and trade because that's a penalty of being a first apron team.
But
So we couldn't trade Duncan
but
for him anyway.
but that's what I'm saying. Like the Miami Heat, like I said, once again, they said they're running it back. Our hands are literally tied behind our back. We cannot make any moves. Literally, we can't even. We could barely move off of anybody. I know that a lot of people, because there was one person that, bro, they had a laundry list of different things that the Miami Heat have done wrong during the offseason. They said that re-signing Love and not saving the money hurt him. I think they honestly did give Kevin Love a little bit too much money, especially for his older age and a 2-year deal. Then they're saying that they're offering Bryant a player option last year that actually ended up hurting us. Moving off of Kyle and a first round pick for Terry hindered their free agency options. My thing is, when you look at the free agency option, though, I honestly think that Terry outweighs a lot of some of the other free agents, in my opinion, in terms of the scoring aspect that we desperately need. And then the last one they're saying is that getting Burke so early in the process for a minimum. Like I said, Miami Heat fans, they're not going to always be happy. It is what it is. We're running it back, and that's what we got to focus on right now.
Yeah, and again, we didn't expect Tyus to come and accept an offer for $3.3 million. His market value should have been higher. And so he's taking this prove it deal because I guess apparently the market wasn't there and all this new CBA stuff is hindering teams from, you know, paying players the amount they deserve. And so obviously the little wiggle room that we had left after Caleb decided to leave to the Sixers was we had Haywood Highsmith, who was a priority because once we lost Caleb, we lost our best, one of our better point of attack defenders, Swiss Army knives off the bench. And so we needed to replace him with someone who has not exactly a similar skill set, obviously, because Caleb was better, especially offensively, but someone that's similar enough, right? And so he took that discount, and he's only coming back for like 4 or 5 million plus the 2 million or whatever Burks is going to get. So we didn't have enough wiggle room based on what the perceived value of Tyus Jones' market value should have been or was at the beginning of free agency. And so you mentioned those three players also with player options. So Thomas Bryant had a player option. We didn't we didn't sign him. He chose to sign himself. He had a player option, right? So people say why did we choose Thomas Bryant over him? He chose us, right? Same with Kevin Love, even though we gave him a little bit more in that second year, sure, but he still had a player option for 4 million or whatever it was this season. Jay Rich also had a player option for the minimum $3 million or whatever it is, right? So we had no control over these guys unless they left. Let's say two of them decided to test free agency and not pick up that option, then we would have had $6-7 million that we could have offered Tyus Jones straight up. But I don't understand why people are saying, "Oh, we chose Thomas Bryant and chose these guys." Like, yes, we did that last year, not this offseason, instead of a Tyus Jones. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why people are saying that piece. Anyway, Martel, that's all I have for today's video. Thanks for hopping on. Again, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe to both of our channels, and we will talk to you guys soon.